Okay, so we're about to go live. Yeah. So I think, yeah. And we are live. I think we're live. We're on. Okay, cool. Hey, what's up, guys? Welcome to the Ekasi Esports chess series. I am your host for today, Perfect. And I'm not walking alone. I'm not walking alone. I'm not alone today. I'm with my co-host here, Mr. Sneh. What's up, Sneh? How you doing?
Hello. I'm good, and you? I'm good. I'm hyped. I'm excited. I mean, we don't get much chess online. I mean, we do get a lot of it, but we don't get a lot of it covered. So I'm quite happy to be a part of this. I'm pretty excited.
True. Yeah. It's not really the hypest game out there. You know, it's the much more subtle, toned down type of game. That's why I guess the music is also like very subtle. You know, if you check out the stream, you'll hear there's a little bit of jazz playing in the background. You know, something a bit smooth. I didn't choose some EDM for today's stream because it gets a bit wild. But yeah, so today we are set to have week 1 of the Ekasi Esports chess series. And if you guys tuned into any of our videos on our channel, you'll see there's a video which says all you need to know about the chess series. So if you want to know more details about the chess series and learn about the structure and how it's going to work, I'd recommend that you go and check it out. So yeah, just to give you guys a brief explanation, we're gonna have 8 weekly leagues in the Ekasi Esports chess series, and today is week 1 of the chess series. All matches will be played on Sunday, and people will have to register every week. So if you want to participate, make sure that you register on the Ekasi Esports website, which is at ekasiesports.africa, and go to the Ekasi Esports chess series page, where you'll be able to register and learn more about the tournament. And yeah, so I guess I can tell people more about the prizes, right? About why you'd want to join.
People love hearing about that, yeah.
Yeah, because because like, why would you play chess on a Sunday? You know, you have a bit of motivation. But if you need any motivation, how does 50,000 rand sound to you? That's ne?
Bugattis.
Yeah,
I'm hyped. Yeah, damn.
It sounds great.
That's the reason to like get up off the couch on a Sunday. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, for 15,000 rands. Yeah, but obviously they're not getting the whole 15,000 rands. So how it's going to be split up across the weeks. So the winner for today's leaderboard will take home 400 rands in cash. Number 2 will take home 200 rands, and then number 3 will walk away with 150 rands in their pockets. And just for playing today, they just have to play 3 matches. It's a Swiss tournament, so it's going to be a 3-round Swiss tournament. So each player will play 3 matches, and the player with the most points, basically the most wins or whatever, will win the grand prize. And if there's a tie,
Yeah,
then
easy
there'll have
money.
to be a tiebreaker, and then boom, boom. But yeah, that's how it's gonna go down. We're just waiting for everyone to join into the server, and then we should be Gucci. We should be Gucci. So yeah,
You want to be underway with some chess. I mean,
yeah,
that's even a good reason to stay sober on a Sunday, right? You're gonna make sure you sleep early
exactly.
on Saturday.
I am so. Hey, we are sorry. We are sorry that you have to stay sober on a Saturday, because if you are out on Saturday, then you won't be ready mentally for Sunday. So
Exactly.
hey, I think this is good.
In those crunch times,
I
when,
guess,
when you can't really think with the hangover at that point, right?
bruh. So okay, I don't drink, so I don't know why I'm saying bruh, because I don't I don't drink. So, but I'm sure people who do. They
This is
understand.
wisdom.
They understand that drinking, having a hangover during a chess tournament might not be the best thing. It might not be the best thing. So the tournament should be set to kick off at in a couple of minutes. I'm just looking for the time. So in 5 minutes, actually, we're set for 5 minutes. The players are just readying up, and then we should be Gucci to go. So let me just look at the player list here. I'm gonna try and pull it up for you. I'm not sure if you can see it on your side. You can see it,
I
right?
can see still your just normal chess screen. Oh, I can see the players. Yeah, I can
Oh,
see
yeah.
the
So
players.
those. Let me just.
Yeah, yeah, there we go. There we go. Yeah.
So yeah. So we have, so far we have like 9 people loaded up. So there's 32. So also if you guys want to register for the chess series, because I did say it's going to be a weekly series, so that means each week there's going to be new participants. But if you have already participated before in the previous weeks, for example, if you're in week 4 and you want to participate in week 5, you can still register for that. So you can register as many times as you want. And if you're really good at chess, why not enter like during all the weeks, and then take that 400 rands
Actually,
home. Why not? That's more money for you in the pocket, right? And
I mean, it's easy money. Why not?
exactly, man. Easy money. We're trying to promote, making money through games. So I guess this is one of the ways. So another thing I forgot to mention is that the top 8 in today's Swiss tournament, or Swiss leaderboard, will advance over to the playoffs. And in the playoffs, that's where things get a bit more spicy. In the playoffs, we'll have a total, I think, about 64 players, because yeah, it's 8 times 8, so that's 64 players. And those 64 players will play in another Swiss tournament. They'll squabble it out for 3 weeks, so that's how long the playoffs will happen for. And the winner of like the whole event will take home about 5,000 rands.
Oof,
So yeah,
a lot of money. It's a lot of money just from chess,
That's, yeah, it's a bit too much. I'm thinking of like, yo, guys, can I get a piece of that too? And then they're like, nah. And I try to join, but then they're like, oh, since you're hosting it, we can't let you join, because you can.
Unfortunately, not.
Exactly, unfortunately. But yeah, maybe I'll join the next one, as long as I'm not like on the hot seat for the next one.
I think what's exciting about like these kind of tournaments is that like the difference in the sort of audience that it brings, because it's on a Sunday, it's not necessarily middle of the week when things are jam packed with full action. You get people who are really good at chess who might only be online to play chess at this point in time.
Yeah.
So that means that you have to bring your A game every single moment and every single time. And I mean, I've been in situations where the chess you're playing, you find some old man at a park or restaurant, he's playing chess. You're like, hey man, let me just have a quick game. That one quick game turns into 3 hours of you just being dominated every which way. You're like, okay, that was painful. And what's interesting is that I actually recognize, I looked at the registration names, I recognize some of the names there of people that I know that are really good at chess. So I'm hoping that we do see them, because if we do, then it's going to be very exciting. It's going to be pretty hype.
Yeah, hopefully we're in store for some jam-packed games for today. And yeah, hopefully everything goes nice, and we keep schedule, right? So yeah, we're just waiting for everybody to load up, and then we should be Gucci. Do.
We play a bit of chess.
Yeah.
Young chess.
But so far,
So
yeah, like I said, so far in the background, I have that little jazz playing. I'm also listening to it as well, so it's like nice and soothing. I guess it's good music for Sunday, just in general, because it's on Saturday is the day people wilding out. So yeah.
The one problem though is that like if you have jazz this smooth, right, what might end up happening is that people feel like cleaning the house. Like it's Sunday, you're playing smooth jazz, there's no other option.
Yeah, it's like clean the house type of music. It's music that you listen to while you're like just like chilling or doing something. But yeah, I'm not sure if I forgot to mention anything, but yeah, just a reminder, registrations for each week will open on Mondays at 2 p.m. So go to the chess.com the chess tournament page on the Ekasi Esports website, which is at www.ekasiesports.africa/chess-series. If you're looking for the link will be posted up in the description. So check it out, learn more about the tournament, and then boom, you should be good to go. So the guys should be ready in the next 30 seconds. In the next 30 seconds, the tournament will kick off, and then we should be in store for some great chess this week. I'm excited.
I'm going to see some domination. I'm going to learn some things.
Yeah, definitely.
What's always interesting about chess is, like, given the breadth of strategies that are available, unlike a lot of other games, it truly is infinite in the terms of permutations of the game. So you never really know what to expect. Everyone has like a particular playstyle, but you can never really be certain whether or not they can adapt that playstyle to work in a variety of extra situations. So I think, like, first week as well, I'm expecting, generally when you have tournaments like this that have like this long longevity, the people that show up first are often some of the names that you see towards the end as well. So I'm hoping that somebody is able to like stamp the authority already right now, so we can see their progression. And already we see the game starting.
The game has started. So let me just like switch to the studio. So we're just gonna fade into it. So there we go. Oh, I think I have you hidden. I have you hidden away there. But yeah, so yeah, that's the game. So in the first match we have Nduru. I'm not sure if I'm butchering your name, I'm sorry, but we have him going against Lazy Cash, and just off rip you can see Lazy Cash is just going in for the kill. She is rated 100 on the chess.com website, and Duru is like 763, which is like almost half of that. And yeah, that's a big skill gap. I'm not sure, because these ratings aren't accurate to your actual playstyle, but looking at the advantage bar, which you should see on your left panel,
it seems like it shows, honestly.
It's crazy.
It's not even that advantage bar, right? I mean, look at the positioning on the board right now. How few resources Lazy Cash has committed to pretty much decimate the side of the board that Enduro is playing. Enduro has had like pretty much all the special pieces except for the rooks and the queen are out and active right now, trying to place aggression on the board. In the meantime, Lazy Cash only had to use 2 bishops, 1 knight, and a couple of pawns. Meantime, has complete control of the middle of the pitch. At this point in time, like, we see this move back towards d7 for Enduro, but I kind of feel like this is a very reactive play, because you're just going to end up losing a bishop. Because now, even though you're putting the other bishop under pressure, you're just going to lose knight for free. And you can't really pressure anything off the back of this. This is, Lazy Cash.
Lazy Cash is not taking it easy at all. He's going in for the kill. He's going in for the kill. I guess that's how you should do it. I used to play chess in high school, and one thing I wanted to do, I never wanted to give my opponent the chance. I used to hit him hard, and I learned that through tough lessons, because back in high school I used to sometimes be a bit too cocky, and then I would I'll kind of
string out your opponent, right? You're enjoying yourself.
I was enjoying myself. Okay, and now when and then eventually, when they would come back sometimes, and I learned, bruh, nah. Next time, I am not gonna take it easy on you at all. You know what I'm saying? So I kind of learned that through the hard way, and I'm sure other chess players have been through the same thing, where you're playing and you're winning, and then the player. And then the guy comes back. You didn't expect that, and then sometimes you blunder so bad that it's hard for you to come back. But yeah,
quite important to take it easy when you're playing this game. Keep your eye on the ball, right? Don't take it too easy. Relax. Don't feel too much under pressure.
100%.
But at the same time, if you play in such a way that you are guaranteed to win, you're pretty much guaranteed to lose. And this is a very bad situation. Look at this here, Mr. Perfect. Check this out. This pawn on f6 is under supreme danger.
Yeah.
What do you do now? Because you actually put your own king into this really awkward position, right? You're already situated in the corner. I think if you don't move the rook in front of it out onto g7, then you're in real danger of either getting checked, or either just didn't get a check, or you're always pretty much going to lose a queen. Guaranteed, right? Next move. Unless you can do something pretty significant here.
there's nothing really much to do here for black. Like, this match is over. Like, this is the point where you resign. I was taught
GG go next.
GG next. You know what I'm saying? I was taught that, if you lose your match, if you see that this match is over, just quit. It's a sign of respect to your opponent. Trying to and look at that move. That's now the pawn goes.
That's the only thing you could do. Yeah.
And now one must die. One must die. Now black has lost the rook. And okay, now black has lost the rook and white is just going in for the kill. Look at black's position. He's stuck in the corner.
I really like this move.
Like,
what do you do, right? Because you can't move the queen out, you can't move the rooks out. Doing anything, you can only really do something with this pawn. But even then, it's like mate in one.
Yeah,
like
it's mate now. It's mate. Then that's it.
Yeah,
GG's. That was quick. That was really quick. That's really quick.
Got smashed.
I'm sure we can change to another match because there's other matches going on. So I'm just gonna.
Yes, indeed.
We're just gonna switch on to Milone. I'm butchering these names. I'm sorry.
Oof.
And we have Sully.
Milone is also. Okay, so you were talking earlier on about how the naive calculation of the chess points doesn't necessarily guarantee who's in charge right now. But I think we'll see 2 games back to back where it's looking really rough for the player that's underrated. Because right now, Sully, look again, major positioning on the board. Like, we just saw this aggressive move with the queen, with this king now, like slight aggression onto this knight, but forces back this knight. Sorry, but the knight pretty much still has all the options in the world, in no real danger of actually being consumed anywhere else. Now threatening the queen, which takes the danger off of the knight that's sitting on c6. Create all the space where there's nowhere else you're in danger, and at the same time, nobody can occupy that little space that you've left behind except for the king. He can't move into there because he gets checked.
Yeah.
Still have complete control. And look how far away the other rook is now from Milone. Just locked in there on g2. Can't actually do anything. On g1.
Yeah.
Like, just does nothing. So he has to move the king back. Game is hard. You just lose the king for free. Feels bad.
It's pretty bad. My question is, how did the king get there? How did the king get to c2? Or did they cancel castle queenside? Because that's how it seems.
It looked like it, yeah. It looked like a long queen and then more pressure applied by this knight, but I'm not sure exactly what happened.
Yeah, but it's not, I was told that in chess that it's not healthy to move your king so early in game, move it so much. And now look at the queenside, it's pretty much messed up, on white side. The queen side is pretty much dead. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, white is in a tough position. Even if you look at the advantage bar on the left, white has minimal advantage, and he has no choice. He has no way of getting out of this. So yeah, I think it's going to be GG's for white as well. It's going to be GG's for white, and I guess, I think this is going to be a very tough. I guess once we go into the second round of the Swiss tournament, I guess we'll see some interesting games, because I'm pretty sure the high-rated players will be paired up against each other, and I guess we're set for some fire. We're set for some fire, right? I guess I'm excited to see how this all concludes.
Definitely, there's still a chance here. Right? Because I actually think that there was a small mistake. I think moving the knight back onto a4 could have been a bit more of an aggressive move, going on to e3 rather with the knight to put the king in a bit more of extra pressure, make life a little bit difficult for him. Oh, sorry, onto d3. But doing this move now actually forces the queen to also back off in a little bit of way. There's a check coming in one, but there is a bit more defensive pressure available for Milone. So you actually keep the game alive a little bit longer. It's still quite difficult to actually do anything off the back of this, because you have to somehow find a way to free up that rook on the back. I'm gonna try pressure with this knight right now. It does apply pressure to the opposite knight, but honestly, I take this. And even though you can move forward with the knight afterwards, with the rook afterwards, it's like, okay, cool. Now you actually have one less defender available to you, and the queen is a bit more free on that side.
I think this is a dub for not a dub, but like I'm saying, is this a chance? Do you feel like it's a chance for black? If white,
slight chance. I didn't like this move though. Yeah, I didn't like this move. I think the sacrifice was a bad one. When you're in this kind of position, going for the sacrifice play, now as white, look where you're on the board right now, right? You have pretty much no presence. You've had to move this pawn up in order to be able to take the opposing knight in revenge for it. Now nothing threatens the queen. Free movement on the backside of the board for the queen, the knight, and the bishop on white. You're gonna be able to get another check off of this where you can't really get a counter. This feels like mate in what, 2-3? Yeah.
yeah, this is pretty much also like almost done and dusted for white. So I guess it's gonna be another GG's very soon. Yep, because now white has
Feels
only
bad,
one
man.
move. Yeah, white has that move, and then that's a mate,
Yeah, there we
and
go.
then that's
There
GG.
we go.
That is yeah. These matches are pretty heartless. Okay, cool. So looking at the sheet right now, there's three people have finished their games. Actually, one of the guys got a bye. The opponent didn't show up. So, who's this? Who got the bye? So, looks like not Moulinet was one who just played right now, right? Oh,
Yeah,
Marshmallow.
minute.
Marshmallow actually had a bye, so he gets a free point there. He gets a free point.
Hey,
But then we have more. We have four
still
games
have
going
two other
on.
games, right?
Four. Oh, yeah, we got two games. Yeah, sorry, two games. My math just went off for a second. But yeah, I guess the story continues. Here's another match against GS Payne against Luqui. Luquis.
Perfect. Check this out. We actually have a bit of an even one this time around. It's not a stomp. It's not a
Actually,
stomp.
it's a
This is
bit.
actually a close
Yeah,
one.
yeah, the advantage ball is not going haywire on the left. So looking also at like Black's positioning is pretty better. And looking at the rating, like the back to the ratings conversation, Black is rated 531 and White is rated like more than double at that. And he and White seems to be on the ropes. White seems to be on the ropes, which is I guess it's something different. And like I said, the chess.com rating is not your real life rating, because you could be better at chess. Maybe you just download the chess.com app, like a minute ago, and you started playing. Maybe you lost a couple of games or something. So you can't say it's the
Exactly.
most accurate rating of your chess skill. And I guess Black is showing that. And I guess it also goes for the person with the high rating, because you could be winning, off by maybe luck. Maybe the other person had network issues and you win, and your points are just racking up and up and up. So, you know what I mean? So,
I
yeah.
mean, people do get lucky. People. What if you had a coach the entire time sitting behind you? Someone that's you're being a Smurf. Someone's on your right.
Oh, yeah.
But now
There's
you're out
that.
here playing against real competition. And this GS Payne, this is a very intriguing position, right? Because this is a super aggressive move with no real available counterplay for whites in one move.
Mm-hmm.
Pretty much anything that white does in one move can still be almost instantly countered. Like there's no hyper aggressive plays to make, given where the king is positioned as well. Like there was setup of the bishop. All the special units for GS Payne are set up in such a way that the middle of the board is perfectly controlled. Like this knight, like where does the knight go for white, right? One knight left. Any move that he makes right now instantly gets eaten up by the bishop, so he can't do anything. The only move he can really make with the knight is to try and make a sacrifice play on D1, but that kind of sucks. Can't really do anything productive. Oh, it's Black's move right now. Okay, so he moved the bishop.
Yeah.
Okay, he did move the bishop. Right, right, right,
Yeah,
right.
it's Black's move.
So bishop to F3. Obviously, Black just going to take the pawn right there on B2. And this is not good. No, I don't like this. I don't like this. This move does nothing for you because now you're just immediately back on the threat. And you still haven't really achieved anything, because if you go in and you're happy to try and say, okay, fine, I'll give up the knight for the rook on the other side, then you give up the pawn that's sitting right now on A2, and that's going to be a lot of positioning available for further queening potentially later for GS Payne.
I don't think that's necessary for Black at this point. Black, if Black just like focuses on his game, he could just end this like real quick. Just has to get rid of the those minor pieces like the bishops. If he gets rid of the bishops and maybe a knight, or maybe one bishop or one knight, then White's is pretty much done here. But as you can see, Black a minute ago was like further destroying White's position by taking the pawns. He's just trying to salvage all the pieces that he could get. But yeah, this is pretty much
Like this though.
a tough position for White. It's a very tough position for White. His chances are very minimal. A comeback here is going to be very tough, But surprisingly, it's only a 1 point difference between the two players. White is a pawn up, but you can see the difference in the positioning, and how much advantage that provides for Black. Black has all his pawns like on both sides. The like he can connect the pawns on his side on both sides. There's no gaps in between. That pawn on c3 for White is a disadvantage for him because he has to go out of his way to protect that pawn. And so he might have to sacrifice a minor piece, like the bishop is on c4. Keeping that safe.
No. No.
Why did White exchange there?
Why?
Oh man.
Why did White do that? That was not a good exchange.
Yeah,
That
he
was not a
shouldn't
good
have
one.
exchanged. He should have. He should have just. But the thing is,
Sometimes you just take the L, right? You
exactly.
just say, you know what, this piece is gone. It is what it
Yeah, the
is.
point is gone. Fine, because like the piece that could have changed the game there. Okay, he has two bishops. I feel like the chat. Oh, but also Black has two bishops.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is pretty
That's the
much.
issue. Like, if it wasn't for the fact that if it's just in terms of pieces, it's absolutely acceptable, right? But given what he's denied now on the board overall, and the lack of pawns for him to have presence, look on this left hand side of the board
Yeah, the
on
king.
A and B lanes. Literally no presence at all, unless he's actually going to commit special pieces in the entirety. And now he has to. He has to
He has to.
reposition an entire bishop just to stop an advancing pawn because he had to go in for that kind of reckless exchange there. Feels bad. Feels bad.
And in this position, usually what I do is I just like exchange the minor pieces. I fight for exchanging the minor pieces because like the king side on white side is gone. Like there's a pawn there. Like besides the minor pieces, it's just a pawn there. So if I was Black, I'll just try to find a way to exchange the money. Oh, look, he's offering the exchange. Oh no, he shouldn't. Oh, White has just lost this game. It's GG's. It
Yeah,
is
that's
GG's.
GG. That's GG.
Because you
Yeah,
don't you,
that's
you
GG.
don't exchange. The key thing is that you don't exchange when you're in a disadvantage. Even if it's two pawns or one pawn, you never exchange your pieces when you're in a disadvantaged position like White. And right now he has doubled up pawns on the G file, and White is just gonna push. It's just gonna waltz his way. I think that the only thing that's gonna save White is that the Black bishop is protecting the A1 square, which is gonna be which White is planning. I'm pretty sure he's planning to queen. So now White will have to find
Yeah,
Black will have to find a way to exchange, which he can do.
he'll debate him probably with like either not he'll probably do right. He'll go like bishop like sorry pawn to b6, and then he'll force out the bishop
Yeah.
very far forward, get super aggressive. Like he definitely there we go.
Yeah.
Bishop b6, he's ready. He's setting up.
Yeah.
Then now here comes the bishop onto c5.
Okay, I guess he's moving the king a bit closer, but now this is gonna be tough. It's gonna be tough. It's gonna be tough because now even if he goes to because he has to bring the king closer, But luckily
Yeah.
the black bishop is still protecting the black bishop is still protecting the pawn. So even though the king has stopped the black king from progressing and getting closer to the pawn, I feel like black, he can go for the exchange and he could happily lose that pawn, because obviously after white takes the pawn, then black will take also the pawn on the thing.
Yeah.
Okay, now it goes for a check.
It's a good check. It's
Yeah.
a very good check.
Yeah, just
It's a
moving
very,
the
very
king
good check.
away, moving the king away.
Yeah.
And now, it's pretty tight. So I guess it's a very tight position on the king side. So black can just be like, you know what, whatever. I still have more pawns that side, and I guess black is now fighting to also destroy the queen side. So at
3
least
moves ago, I think there was a slight mistake, I think, from black side, where they could have actually, instead of advancing bishop to c5, the game had changed enough, given the repositioning of the king, that they might have been better served by going aggressive with pawn onto c5, rather using that to threaten the bishop. Then you still have the bishop available to reposition afterwards. Now you're going to end up losing the pawn for free. Yeah, the game's rebalanced now, like completely, because of these moves that they've made. This was a really good adjustment. The aggressive plays with the king. Sometimes a lot of players don't feel comfortable enough to use the king as a piece, only treating it as the win condition. If we lose this, we lose the game. But they recognize in this game on white side that, the king is a real piece. Use it, and you can actually have it as a way to advance yourself back into the game, and they've done so successfully. Very nicely done.
100s, and it's the end game. And the end game, the kings will have to be like super active. That's the part of the game where the kings dominate. And if you know how to play your king, if you know how to position your king, in the end game, you had a huge advantage. Sorry, I used to love taking my games to end game because I was very confident in my pawn game. Because I knew the rules. I studied like the basics to make sure that I knew how to position my king in the end game. So I would always fight to go into end game because I knew that I would have my king there, and that's where my king will shine. But looking at this position, it's more of like 2 versus 1 on both sides, and I feel like it's going to be a pawn race to queen. It's going to be
I kind of like white's positioning here, actually, like the way that this game is set up right now.
yeah.
It feels like it's extremely difficult for black to play in this situation without like giving up pressure.
Yeah, I feel like black should have focused on Oh no, yeah.
That's interesting.
That's interesting. Oh yeah. So now this is chai. This is GG now. That's a difficult GG.
Game is hard. Yeah, you can't do
But I
this.
feel like it shouldn't have went this far for Black. Black had a pretty strong position earlier, so I feel like Black could have really done a lot, to prevent the game from getting this far. And looking at the clocks on both sides, Black has 27 seconds and
gosh.
counting.
Is
White,
this the trap? Oh my gosh, the trap is set. The trap is set.
oh,
It's gonna be one of those games.
but now it's Chai now. It's Chai because he still gets the queen, and yeah.
He has more time. He has more time. Let's see. Let's see.
It's
actually not.
Oh no! Push the. Oh, okay, check. Oh, but now he lets the king escape. He should.
Yeah,
push.
he's fine, dude. He's fine, dude.
No,
he's fine. He's got this.
I'm saying for White, it's bad for Black. If it's bad for Black, he should.
Oh yeah, it's
okay,
bad for Black. Yeah.
Okay, that's good.
It's bad for
That's
Black.
good. We got 10 seconds. Black, you ain't got time. Oh no, she got closer. Okay, yeah. Box him in. Let's box him in. Yeah. Oh,
Nah,
no, he didn't even
it's too
escape. Yo, he didn't escape. Okay, cool.
Yeah, it's
Get
too
closer with the king. Get closer with the king.
GG.
Oh no, it's GG for Black. If Black
White's
loses,
victory. Yeah.
no,
This is
Black, you can't go on like that. Yes, box him in. Box him in. Come on. Get
can't be
closer.
done.
It can't be done.
Too
Come
late.
on.
Can't be done.
It's no try. It's GG. Oh, there we go. 3 seconds. 3.1 seconds to
3
spare.
seconds.
3.1 seconds to
No.
spare.
No.
Black clinches it. That was close. And I think we're done with the first
Oh, that was
round.
wonderful.
That was intense. I didn't expect the game to go that crazy. To go.
It shouldn't have
that
gone
far.
this far, like you said, for Black. It shouldn't have come to this level.
Exactly.
Like 3 seconds left on the clock. Black was in a very superior position, like maybe like 7-8 moves ago, but before this entire shenanigan. I'm not counting what just happened now, so
Yeah.
move set, but it is what it is. These kind of games do happen when you're in like a very close to winning situation. But I think also what ended up happening there was that Black was sort of thrown off guard by the aggression that came out from the king. At that point, when the super strong situation was happening for Black,
Yeah.
you sort of would think that the natural moves for White to be making at that point didn't necessarily include immediately starting to move the king over onto A and B file. So having done that, I think is what sort of bought time. Only bought time. Ultimately, it still is a victory. I think a well-deserved victory for Black. But White, I think we're gonna have to remember this name.
Yeah, definitely. He had a good game towards the end. Because he some of the moves were questionable, but also Black made a number of blunders on his side. To drag the game that far. But kudos to White for dragging the game till this point. But yeah, I think that was the last game of the first round. I think we can get on to the second round. I can see the second round games are already live, so I guess we can just jump into the next game.
Let's go.
Who do we choose? Who do we go for? Let's go for Lazy Cash.
No. Don't go for the top ones yet. Reserve that for the third round.
Okay. I'll go down. I'll go to the losers and maybe an under. Okay, no. Let me see.
They're not playing it.
Okay,
I don't see what they're playing yet. Well, okay, it is what it is. We're here now.
Okay, now I can
so-
switch. So, yeah, this is the game. This is a nice game here, right? It's a nice game here.
Yeah,
we
that's
have.
it, yeah.
So we have Marshmallow. The Marshmallow is the person who got the bye in the first round,
Bye. Yeah, so we get to see them for the first time around.
and I think that he needed the bye. I'm looking at his rating; it's 115. Looks like he's been losing a couple of
Hey.
times on the on the app.
This could be a Smurf in the opposite direction, comrade. Don't even worry about it.
I guess,
You know.
but looking at the initial positioning, just like from first glance, White has developed his side, immensely. Like he has his bishops in the game, he has his knight in the game. I'm sure he's going to look to castle anytime soon. Black is moving pawns, and his 2 bishops and 1 knight. There's only 1 knight active, and from from just like the basic rulebook in chess, you can't like play your pawns like this. You can't, like, there's no formation. His minor pieces are still stuck there in the back. His position is almost open, like especially like if he gets his bishops in, yeah, it's gonna be trouble. And look at
It's
White.
in a really rough position.
White's knight
Like
is in a
that.
nice sweet spot there in e5. So yeah. Sorry,
This E5, you always feel so happy when you get yourself in this E5 position with the knight. Like,
bro. It's a very nice
you're
position.
like, this is just good times. I think also the way that these things are panning out, like Suli is being very patient with this. Often you see some of these players when they have like much higher ratings just sort of go for like this very blitz shutter strategy, but developing very patiently, not playing everything out all at once, we see this like slow advancing movement, stopping Marshmallow from getting anything done, while at the
Mm-hmm.
same time, oh no, free queen, free queen, free queen,
Oh
give me a free
no,
queen,
that was a
give me a free queen.
blunder. This is over. GG, let's go home. Let's go home, people. Let's
GG,
go
GG go
home.
next,
This is
GG go
over.
next.
This is a you can't. Oh yeah, yeah,
Oof.
yeah. I guess no, my prediction wasn't wrong. Because I'm just saying, he could be a Smurf. Maybe he did it on purpose to lose points so that when he's paid up in the Swiss tournament that he gets like at least like some easy matches. But yeah, nah. But luckily for him, he has the bye. He still has that 1 point.
Yeah.
So even if he still loses this match, he can still play somewhere in the top. I'm not sure. He can still play somewhere in the top if he plays his second game. Well, it'll be his second game. But if he plays the third round, in a smart way.
I'm just thinking how thankful he is right now to have that pawn on d5 because of how much space that's giving him, the breathing room provided. Oof, if they could actually unleash more on the side of Sully, this knight that's right now sitting comfortably on d2, it would be disastrous overall. But the fact that they cannot, I don't like this knight move though. The fact that they moved it upright, it draws in this pawn move onto h3. Now you have to retreat. The natural move afterwards is pawn from g4. So much space opened up, and instantly you're back where you started. You haven't really
It's a
advanced
wasted
anything.
move. It's a wasted move.
Yeah.
You never play that. I don't know what he was trying to do there. Because White's position is very solid on both sides, especially on the king side. So I don't know what he was trying to do there. I think White is just placing his king there, attacking the g7 square, threatening to go for the he's threatening to take the pawn. So I guess maybe either black push up the pawn, connecting his pawns there, that white diagonal. And just making sure that he strengthens his king side position a bit more. And why did he do that? Why you
I
do
don't
that?
know. Report now taken, bonus positioning deep inside the board where it's very difficult for black to respond.
This is bad.
And to make matters worse now, you're in a situation where you hate this trap. Like, how do you respond to now this rook being immediately under threat? Where do you move it? What do you do? Do you save the rook? Do you save the knight? Feels bad, man. Feels bad.
Feels bad. Well, feels bad because now both positions, the queen side and the king side, are pretty much gone for black at this point. The option to he can still castle on the queen side, but then obviously if he castles on queen side, then he's open to on the c file. His king is open on the c file, and that's not the best position to be in. This is not the best position to be in if you're playing a chess game, a very competitive chess game.
On the bright side, perfect. On the bright side, look, there's no bishops right now, right? So that means that because these rooks are still locked in pretty deeply from the side of Sully, it's going to be a while before they can develop them completely in order to be able to fully take over the game. So right now, it's a major disadvantage for Marshmallow, but I think it's still quite a while before the game itself is lost. So you can try to figure something out in the meantime. And now this move that they just done right now to try and protect the king, it's going to be quite effective because there's no instant check move that's available. And because there's no aforementioned bishops, it's going to be quite a while before you can check the king again. So this does buy you time. You're still in a bad position. You're still losing the game. But crucially, you bought time. You can still come back into it. Otherwise, if they had not made this move, right, and they try to just get a narrow escape with the king, it might have been really bad because then there's still options to move up with this knight that's been sitting on d2. But the way it's set up right now, I think that they've at least got 10 moves, right, to try and recover something here.
Man, like, you're just dragging the inevitable. I'm sorry. Black is just trying. Look, I understand you're trying to see the bright side in this, and maybe the other bright side is that White makes a blunder. But I'm looking at his rating. He's 1400 rated, 1,140, 1,429. That's his rating. I went a bit Jacobs over there.
I was about to say, give us the Zuma numbers, come on.
I'm just saying, White is highly, like, looking at his rating, White has a high rating, and I doubt that White will mess up in this position. So the only hope for Black here is if White makes a big blunder, right? Because there's no queen on Black, there's no rook. The only thing he has is an extra bishop. But that's also it's not. It hasn't been moving. And look at White is also attacking it now. So, Black is just playing the defense. And in this position, if you had played with some of my comrades back in the day, they would actually take you as being disrespectful because you're dragging out the inevitable. This match is pretty over. So please just throw the king down. You know,
GG, go next. GG, just
that's
call GG, go next, go to
that's
the next one. Yeah.
sportsmanship. Like, man, why are you wasting my time? You know what I'm saying? But hey, let's see. Maybe miracles do happen in chess. We have seen some crazy moments in the past where people from impossible positions came back. So maybe who knows? Maybe this is one of these games. Personally, I don't feel like it is, but Snake still has a bit of hope for White.
I actually have a little bit of hope. I think this game's not completely over. Not completely over right now. It's very terrible, but still, like, think about all that's been happening in the last couple of minutes, right? We still have a lot of locked moves from the rooks on the back end, and I think they're going to be needed to be unleashed in order to fully win out the game. And still, this pawn on d5 for black, my God, it's just been parked here, preventing any advancement from
But
this knight. Yo, if this knight was unleashed, this game would be over. But because they can't unleash the knight,
it's dead.
it's keeping the game alive.
That pawn is dead, man. That pawn is dead. It's gone. You see, it's gone.
It's gone now, but what I'm saying is it's bought so much time until now.
I
right?
I
There's still an
guess.
opportunity.
But
Oh no,
it's
no.
it's got it's dead, man. Like
Oh no.
Nah,
That was not the move.
the F file is also open. It's a semi, like the F file is open for White, so he'll probably put his rook there, add more pressure, and yeah, that's probably the next move for White. Moving the rook to F1 or check.
Just easy check, take the pawn. You're not really threatening the knight right now, but
I would have preferred moving the rook to F1. Oh yeah, castling, but if you're either via castling or moving it directly there, just to add more pressure onto that king side. And with that, because I really liked the queen's position there on d6 because it added more pressure on that side. So it didn't have, because now the black king has a bit of movement space. So if the queen was still on d6 and he had castled earlier, then black was going to be in a very tight spot. It was going to be in a very, very tight spot. But yeah, now I guess White is moving in his pawns. Like I think he's trying to push up his position, but I feel like he could end this soon. I'm
wondering where he goes next. Is this pawn e5 or pawn d5? Either or seems to set up for like making a couple moves, right?
I think that's the move that he's planning to do. Because right now, he's gonna like threaten the bishop
d5, yeah,
on d5. Just to add a bit more pressure that side onto the bishop. I guess the bishop only has two moves. It's either b7 and he goes for excuse me?
That was the best possible move he could have made given the circumstances. Because if he doesn't do that, then queen slots into d6 and there's pretty much no counterplay available to that. Now queen is still able to threaten with a check afterwards, but it's not immediately into checkmate. You cleared out all these pawns that were surrounding the area. So it's a naked queen. She's probably going to be able to take the bishop almost instantly after this. But at the very least, you haven't put yourself in a situation where your king can't move. You're still going to lose the game, right? But you're losing it more on your own terms than you would otherwise.
You are dragging out the inevitable. That's what you're doing.
Listen, sometimes you frustrate your opponent until they make a mistake. And then when that mistake comes in, that's when you pounce. Unfortunately, no mistakes are being made here. Marshmallow not falling for the bait of this easy bishop.
Mate in one. This is mate in one. So yeah, this is pretty much done. It is pretty much over for White. For Black. So yeah, GG's. Sully wins the match, and I guess Sully puts himself at the top of the leaderboard. He has 2 out of 2 games. So yeah, Sully could take this. Sully could take this one game happening, which is okay. Yes.
Lady Cash, yo.
Yeah, so this is the last match of round 2. So after this round, we're going to go into the final round, which is round 3 of the chess tournament of week 1 of the chess series. And obviously the overall winner, the person with the most points at the end, will win him or herself 400 rands. Number 2, 200 rands. And number 3, 150 rands. And just as a quick reminder to the folks out there watching, if you want to participate, if you want to join and be part of the action, make sure to register on the chess tournament page on the Ekasi Esports website, which is at www.ekasiesports.africa/chess-series. Link is in the description because that was a mouthful. So you guys can just check that's posted up in the description. So if you guys want to participate, make sure to register tomorrow. Registrations for week 2 open up tomorrow at 2 p.m. So make sure you guys are tuned in. Make sure that you guys are ready to register. Make sure, because there's only 32 slots open. 32 slots open.
Yep.
So make sure you register.
Somebody also do us the favor of recording Perfect saying it so you can just play the clip back, save his breath for the future.
Yes, because that's a mouthful. That's a mouthful saying that all the time. Um,
So let's see here. Lazy Cash, we saw them demolish their opponent round one. Looks like they're on the verge of a dub here.
uh-huh.
This feels like this is actually one of those games that can also continue for a little while longer than it should. But I'm kind of wondering, what do you?
This is pretty much over for White. It's chai. Just throw down the king. It's done. Resign. I'm sure
Listen, but look at the. Oh wait. Oh, unfortunately, White is. Look at the time difference as well. White has 1 minute left.
but
First while
that's more
Black
than
has
enough time.
5.
That's more
Oof,
than enough time
more than
for
enough
Black.
time.
That's more than enough
Yeah.
time for Black. It's over. Look, he's boxed in. It's done at this point. You just
Yep.
box him in. You
Now it's
bicycle
just
him,
the chase.
then it's done. I'm pretty sure he knows how to checkmate in this position. Oh yeah, let me just respond. Let me respond to the comments on the on the stream. Spusito saying, "Oh, legends, the game is for the wise and patient." True. I guess you gotta be very patient when you're playing chess. Wise?
Wise. Some of the best chess players I
You
know
know.
are some of the least wise people I know. So
Shots. Let's see, and then we have 5D. I'll just call you 5D because I'm struggling to read your name. But yeah, my friends playing the tourney and just here for the mental support. Yeah, I guess if you're here for the moral support, yeah, shout out to you, man. Shout out to you. And make sure if you wanna play, make sure to register, man. Well, you should just don't be just in the sidelines. Make sure that you also participate. I guess yeah, I guess. Yeah, guys, make sure to interact with us in the comment section. You know, we would love to hear from you guys. So I guess this is pretty much over. I just want to go into the third round at this point.
I also want to see the third round really bad. Yeah, I want to see
And
like
that's
some of the top level guys. And indeed, you see that Lazy Cash
It's GG's.
does walk away with the dub. GG.
GG's.
Well played, checkmates. Like you
And-
said, was a nice boxing maneuver. So now we get the big guns.
Now we get the big
dogs in the
gun.
yard.
I'm looking at the lineup, and Lady Cash is gonna have it easy. I just want to look at the scores. So at the top of the leaderboard, we have Lady Cash with 2 out of 2 games. We have Sully with also 2 out of 2 games. So there might be a tie there. We got GS Payne also in 3rd place. So GS Payne, Sully, and Lady, they're both in 1st place. So I think we might have to go for a tiebreaker with these guys.
Exactly.
Because yeah, it's very tight. It's very tight. Even there at the bottom, you know, we've got 3 people sitting on 0 games, and we got 4 people sitting on 1 game. So yeah, I guess the top 3 positions are already reserved for GS Payne, Sully, and Lazy Cash. So I guess we can go in against. Oh, GS Payne is playing against Lazy Cash. So I guess we can see the tiebreaker already.
Let's see that.
So let's go into this one.
Yeah.
Well, GS Payne was actually the one who surprised us earlier, right? Because he was playing against someone else
Yeah.
who was double his rank. So I guess in this position, I guess it should be interesting to see how this game will unfold. Because I guess looking at the rating, you would expect Lazy Cash to win this easy. But GS Payne could be a smurf. I see you.
GS Payne.
see you.
I feel like GS Payne smurfing a little bit.
I
here.
feel like he's smurfing. I feel like he's
There's a
smurfing.
little bit of smurfing
He's,
action, you know?
he's incognito. He's undercover. So yeah, but I guess we should
Right
see.
now, though, look at this board. This is such an interesting place for the board to be in,
It's
right?
pretty much evened out.
Because you know how you know, for me, like one of the ways that I always tell like a really good player is when you look at the board and there's no obviously one good move to make, which would drastically improve your position, where everything is just like a series of increments. Like even that move there, you threaten on a4, instant response. Instead of like trying to flee like a lesser player would, he's like, nah, fam, I'm going to keep this protection pressure up on the pawn on c5, protect it by going to c6. I am ready. I'm ready for these maneuvers.
Yeah, look at the advantage bar. It just went haywire after White made that move onto e5. So the chess.com app is not recommending that at all, because now White loses.
Free loss for the night.
Yeah,
There's no pressure applied. Like it was one of these things where you sort of tunnel vision onto what the queen is going
sense
to
of the
do.
board.
You're like, oh sweet man.
I guess you
got the queen.
was tunnel visioned in onto the center of the board and threatening the queen, and didn't notice that he had his knights just posted there on the a4 slot. And the rule is you never post up your knights on the h and a files, because you know they kind of get almost like immobilized, like especially in this position.
Yeah.
The white knight didn't have many places to move, so that was the bad. So I guess the advantage goes to Lazy Cash, and white had like a little side advantage before that move, but I guess that advantage is gone. So now black has to play to recoup. I mean, white has to play to recoup that knight that he just lost. But yeah, looking at this position, it was nice initially because both sides had developed their pieces. White had castled. Black, I'm sure, is going to castle any minute now, just to add a bit of protection for his king. And yeah, but now that knight is posted up on the e5 block, but it has no protection. The only piece protecting it is the b2 black bishop. But if something happens to it, if it gets blocked by one of the pawns, then that's also a tough spot for his knight. But yeah.
To make matters worse, if you look at the situation where he's posted up right now, the rest of the line is in very uniform. He's not really set up to be able to actually unleash his bishops in any other way except to protect this knight. Like, you can protect the knight, there's a little bit of movement from white bishop, but for the most part, white is actually landlocked, can't actually do anything with his pieces. Erstwhile, Lazy Cash can play both aggressively and defensively if placed underneath pressure right now. And there's not that many movement options for GS Pain, so this move, there's a reason why I think they're really taking their time to consider this next move, because there's nothing progressive you get out of it. You have to be trying to make this move in mind of, okay, I need to unleash more pieces on the board, whilst also not allowing more movement to come in from Lazy Cash at the same time as I'm doing it. And I think this was, I was actually about to say, like, I'm thinking D3 or D4 is the only thing you can really do in the situation, but even then, you don't feel really positive about this, because you're still going to have to take 2 or 3 extra turns before you actually feel comfortable making any progressive plays off of this. So it's pretty much free movements right now for a little bit of time for Lazy Cash.
Yeah, Lazy Cash can like build up his or her game. I'm not sure who's about the generals here, but yeah, Lazy Cash has time to build up their game and work on finishing this early, because I guess if you're Lazy Cash in this position, you just want to go for the quick win. You don't want to drag it out, because like I said, you want to win 400 rands. You want to win 400 rands for this first week. And I think I saw a comment here on the stream. Someone was asking, wait, isn't it 15,000? Yes, it's 15,000. The overall prize pool, the money that's available to be won, is 15,000. But weekly, you win 400 rand. So today, whoever's going to be at the top will win 400 rands. Then next week again is going to be another leaderboard. That the person at the top of that leaderboard will win 400 rands. Same thing for the next 8 weeks. So that means that you guys at home, you guys have 7 chances, because this chance is already taken. So you guys have 7 chances to participate and register and maybe win yourself 400 rands in cash. And like I said, if you place in the top 8, you'll be invited into the playoffs, where you'll compete for 5,000 rand. I think that's the grand prize for the first place. That's 5,000 rands. But yeah, I hope hopefully that answers your question. So guys, register. Link is in the description. I'm not gonna mention it again. It's a bit of a mouthful, but yeah, link is in the description. Make sure to register tomorrow on Monday at 2 p.m. If you miss out,
it is what it is. Try again next week. It's fine. There's 8 weeks of this, so it's all good.
It's still the beginning. You're still gonna see more of me and Snare up on the stream. So yeah, make sure that you guys tune in. Show support, show some love. Follow Snare on Twitter, Instagram. I'm sure. Do you have Instagram there? Do you have Instagram?
I do have Instagram. Yeah, I do have Instagram.
You can
barely use it, but I do indeed have it.
Yeah, same. Actually, I barely use any of my social media accounts. I'm just there. If you'll find me on Facebook, you find me on Twitter, you find me on Instagram, but you'll find nothing there. It's literally just empty accounts.
It's just the profiles out here, but nothing else is happening.
I use it for more communication purposes, But yeah, if you guys want to hit me up there, don't be afraid. You can follow me at Perfect Kanbeki, and you can also follow Snare,
Snegrodamus.
Yeah, Snegrodamus. Another mouthful. So yeah.
So what do you think about queen trades? Because we saw one actually happening now between Lazy Cash and GS Pain, leading into a very interesting situation on the board where it seems like Lazy Cash is just trying to clean up as many specials as possible. Generally, how do you feel about this? You're saying that you like playing aggressively, and I know some of my more aggressive chess friends love going for queen trades as soon as humanly possible. How do you feel about it?
For me personally, going for a queen trade in black's position, I feel like that's playing it safe, right? Like I'm not a very aggressive player. Like I do like aggression, right? But only when necessary. So I'm the type of player to I analyze the board, and being if I was black, I would have gone for the queen trade just to play it safe, just so I don't have any surprises from the queen, because queens can turn the game like that. You know what I'm saying? So going for the queen trade early for black, I guess he's just playing it safe to make sure that he can build up his game a bit better without having to stress that what if the queen just jumps in out of nowhere, then boom. You know what I'm saying?
RKO's me, changes the game.
Yeah,
I mean,
exactly.
speaking of game changes, check this out, my G.
Yeah,
This was a big mistake from black. The pawn to a6, massive mistake, instantly punished by pawn to b6, coming in out from white. Now there's pressure onto this knight. There's no real place he can move to easily without real risk being eaten unless he goes very far back, down onto e8, which also blocks off progression from the rook on that side. So this is a major, major move. I think GSP has actually just instantly swung the momentum back in the game's favor. And okay, cool, sharp, fine.
He gives up the knights, and now it's even. It's even, and now the position is even again. But obviously, whites will lose that pawn. A good sacrifice.
Hashtag worth.
But
because now after you lose the pawn, you can still get the pawn that's sitting on d7 if you even lose it, because you already have a bishop that's set up on f3 ready to make the counterplay. And you can now start threatening. They put this rook now on e1, so immediately you have options to go for pawn on the 7th slot and onto the 6th one. Pawn, they even move up the king just to protect that pawn. That's how much Lazy Cash understands how much the pressure is coming from. But then, easy move up that young bishop. And they get yourself another pawn as well, double pawn for free.
That was a great move from white. That was a great, taking, because now black is now in a tough spot. Like his queen side is completely destroyed, while white does have a couple of pawns there posted up on the queen side, and he could try to do something that side. But I feel like for black, I guess he just has to focus on just trying to end this quick. So I think he's going to try exchange the minor pieces a bit more here and there to make sure, because white has 2 bishops, and that's two bishops are dangerous, right? So I guess white wants to. Because I feel like for white having the double up bishops, white has an advantage, right? Because
generally speaking,
because 2 bishops are a nightmare, and he exchanges them, and I feel like he should have held on to them for a bit longer, and just like develop like an attack, and then maybe once he's set, to maybe queen to queen up to get a queen, and then I guess then you can exchange them. But I guess now white is still at the advantage. So
I'm okay with this move from white because you have a pretty much free file here on a side. So unless they full commit, and you see he's already doing that on the side of Lazy Cash, recognizing that unless you full commit onto taking out those pawns, there's that massive advantage on this side of the board. So you have to do something. But what it does mean is that it draws a bit more time, where GS Payne is actually playing aggressively, sort of forcing the reaction out of Lazy Cash right now. And we see now with this rook movement onto b6, extremely difficult to counter this, because what are you going to do? You're going to give up a rook just to get the bishop? Sure, it might feel nice in the moment. You're like, well, I take out the bishop, now he only has rooks left and I still have my knight, but then we still have that major problem of this pawn sitting there on a3, ready to go all the way and advance into a queen later on. Game is hard.
And just as an update,
I don't know about this decision.
And just as an update, most of the games are done. The only games which are going on are between the top 3 players, right? Where I guess we can just switch on to the other match where Sule is playing, who's another contestant for that first place, where he's playing against Luqui Sands.
Christians, who we said we should be watching out for, because they do some really interesting, sneaky stuff.
He had a great match in the first round, so he was one of the players that we wanted to keep an eye on, because he was the one who actually lost and dragged on the game and almost won on time.
Yeah, much longer than it should have been.
and almost won on time. But now it looks like he's in a very tight spot. Black has 2 bishops. He has both of his rooks, and looking at the pawns, this is pretty much over for white. There's nothing much here.
Necessarily. Okay, if I'm playing this, right? If I'm playing this, I'm going all in, right? I'm doing. Look at that e7. E7 looks a bit juicy, right? I would have gone in all in for the sacrifice play, whatever. Change out that space, right? I mean, normally, like you're saying, you don't sacrifice when you're from behind, but when you're this far behind, and the only moves you have left are ones that either protect your position or just delay the game further, you just whatever, YOLO it out. It doesn't feel like anything that you can do normally
You're
will
not.
actually help you win the game anymore.
Yeah.
Now it's just like, well, what can I do to just frustrate my opponent, make it as difficult for them to win, instead of just making it easy for myself not to lose, you know?
I guess, but it's you know, it's tough. It's tough for it's a very tight spot. I still stand by, even if you're in a big disadvantage like you are, like you're like White's in this position, you don't sacrifice. That's just for me. You don't
Never
sacrifice.
sacrifice.
You because oh no, I was actually wrong. White still does have two of his two of his rooks, so it's pretty much almost even. Black only has two. He's 2 pawns up, but that's still a big advantage, especially going towards the end game right now. Two
Yeah.
pawns are a big advantage, and looking at the
Especially considering where the one knight and the king are, right, on white side. Just trapped besides the triple line of the pawns.
yeah, true, and like I said, having two bishops is a very is a bit of an advantage. While white only has a black square bishop, which is also not the most powerful bishop for white. The white at least if you had a white square bishop, you could have tried to do something there, but yeah, and it seems like black intends on advancing this pawn on the b file to see if you could try to get a queen or an exchange at least, to try to fork out an exchange from white, and which is going to be very, very crucial. So he just has to find a way to kick that knight from blocking. But now the knight is stuck there because if he moves out,
Can't do anything.
he pushes the pawn. And now
So now you're in this position where it's a free opportunity to just do what you want. You know for a fact you don't have to deal with this one knight. Movement is pretty easy. You're not really in a bad position. You can actually just go ahead. I would honestly just, you take this now, put the king in check. It draws out the move from the knight. And then,
but that block is still
there's one less knight. You don't have to move the pawn because you have to come back to block the pawn anyway. You just put the knight in threat in some other different direction. For example, putting the bishop either closer to e2, or you can do this, right? Putting up this bishop now. Even if you put this in check, you force I don't like this. I mean, this forces a threat onto the bishop, but okay, cool.
But
I move bishop off, or I just advance the pawn forward and guarantee myself the queen. Doesn't really change anything about the matchup.
Yeah, because by him doing that, I guess he kind of saved himself, because the next move obviously was for the bishop to threaten for bishop to add more support to that b2 square, which obviously black was intending to move his pawn to. But then obviously by him doing that, they'll force the exchange of the knight, and white would have lost the knight in that position. And that was like I said, right now it's going to be a fight for an exchange, because even if black will queen here, and he's going to draw out the exchange. He's going to draw out the exchange because now the bishop is stuck there in a5, and the bishop can't do anything. The bishop can't do anything, and it's also going to queen on a white square. So, yeah. So black is going to force out an exchange here, right? Obviously.
Yep. So it's
and kaboom!
Easy exchange.
Now there's
back onto double bishop advantage, and you still have the possibility of advancing pawns on this a file. This pawn's been chilling, so it's still on this resting position, so it can advance the double squares forward. Very easy to get it where you want it to be.
And white has nothing, can't do anything about it. It's like I said, man, this is pretty much GG's. For white, unfortunately, Sully, I guess will take the top spot with this win. I guess I'm sounding like it's pretty, but yeah, this is pretty much sit and done for white.
Well, we said that the last time. Luquisenzo was able to delay for so long.
Unless it's a blunder. But also,
let's see.
But white also is at a disadvantage with time, because he only has 1 minute and Sully has double that time. So this is pretty much.
Luquisenzo will have to think on their feet to try to come away with a W on this one.
Because now he has pressure, coming from the board, coming from the time. So yeah, this is pretty much. It's pretty much tough for white. Snap! I guess the other game we just missed it out. GS Pain won. GS Pain won.
There we go.
Jeez, GS Pain took his game. So that puts him in first place. So okay, I guess it's going to be a tie between Sully and GS Pain. So I guess we'll have to find.
Don't count out Luquisenzo just yet. You counted out. We were counting out GS Pain. And they came out with the dub, No,
I didn't count out. I counted out Luquisenzo. I counted out Luquisenzo in the first match, and he did lose it. He almost clutched it with time, But no,
Yeah, it came so close.
Just Payne's match was
I mean,
pretty much obvious for him because he had won. He had won with the huge
the
advantage.
previous one, yeah.
So yeah.
And then right now, GS Payne though is busy sitting and rooting for Loquisance, because if Loquisance does grab this W somehow, it means that GS Payne guaranteed 3-0, number one for the day without having to play the tiebreaker. So that always makes you feel in a very good position. So
it looks like he's delaying it.
it's achievable.
It looks like
That's what he's trying to do.
He's trying to delay the time. He's trying to get Sully to think, to waste time, to run down that clock, so at least he can win on time. And if Lucasians wins this match, then GS Payne becomes our number one winner, and I guess number two will be tied between Lazy Cash and Sully. Only if Sully loses on time, but I trust Sully. I don't expect him to make such mistakes. And yeah, GG's.
Yeah, GG's.
And looking at
GG's.
this, Sully is in second place. GS Payne is on first place with 3 points. Sully is in second place with 2.5 points out of 3, and Lazy Cash is in third place.
Oof.
This was crazy, right? This was
a lot of fun to watch.
It was an intense battle.
But the thing is, the reason why Sully ends up in this situation, right, is because of where the king is, right? They still mated, so you don't get the 4 points, Lamau.
Yeah.
You don't get the dub. Game is hard. Dude, I told you, Loquisance out here. Listen. Technically, right? Loquisance has 0 wins today, but still only has 1 loss.
Yeah.
So I'm pretty much sure that once we get to playoffs, we'll see some epic Loquisance game going down to like the last 2 seconds, just on time again, despite having nothing but a king. That was honestly, I'm actually really impressed by how Loquisance was able to force this particular stalemate, given that this was a very losing situation overall on the board.
100s. Yeah, this was an exciting tournament, to say the least. But looking at this position, Martin and Lazy Cash are actually tied for thingy. They are tied for third place, so I think we might have to have them play out a round.
A small tiebreaker.
Yeah, I guess let's just take a break, and we'll try to reach out to Lazy Cash and Martin just so they can battle it out for their third place, because we need to have a definite third place, and they're both tied in third place position, right? So I guess guys, we'll be back in a couple of minutes, like max 5 minutes. We'll be back, and we're just gonna just contact the people in third place to make sure that they battle it out, so that so we can have a definite third place winner for today. So ladies and gentlemen, just stay with us, and we'll be right back. I just want to get the timer running, and then kaboom, we should be Gucci. So let's just transition to the break. we're in. And yeah, ladies and gents, we are we have still having the guys playing for third place, for week one. So we're just waiting for Lazy Cash and Martin to play their third match for the tiebreaker, because they were both tied for third place. And just looking at the comment section, sorry guys for abandoning you in the comment section. I see a lot of people who are supposed to be in the tournament asking why they weren't able to join. I guess for those who might have missed it, the time was set for 3:15, and also on the emails and communications it was said that you need to be online from 3 o'clock. So if you weren't on time, unfortunately the tournament didn't allow you to join. So just make sure that next time that you guys are able to join in and tune in to the tournament. So yeah,
unfortunately it's not us. This is literally the platform itself. Like, you set the set time in there, it is what it is. Once it starts. But fortunately, there's 8 more weeks or 7 more weeks, so there's lots of opportunities. Only week one. So it's gonna be fine. Everything's gonna be okay.
Yeah, it's only week one, so at least you guys still have a chance to participate and play, and hopefully everything goes well. Alrighty, so so I guess we're just waiting for for Martin. We've been trying to reach them, but they haven't been playing, so I guess we'll just try to reach out to them and see if they could like have a tiebreaker. But yeah, for now, I think we can just like call it wraps for today. Thank you for everyone who tuned into the stream, and also thank you, Sneh, for being here with me. It was fire. Week one was fire. And hopefully for those who missed out on this week, make sure that you guys register on the Ekasi Esports website. Link is in the description. It's www.ekasiesports.africa/chess-series. Right, the games will go live at 3:15, and make sure that you guys are online at 3 o'clock every Sunday if you signed up for the tournament and if you registered on the website. And yeah, I think that covers pretty much it. Make sure that and also shout out to our sponsors and our partners, Vodacom World, for sponsoring this tournament. This wouldn't have been possible without them. And also thank you for you guys for tuning in, and thank you to all those who participated and made it on time. And yeah, I think that's pretty much it on my side. Do you have anything to say?
Practice, and we'll see y'all next week. And we'll hope that we are the ones who are streaming next time. Everybody showing up on time means that it's a better tournament. So looking forward to see what y'all have to bring on the board.
Yeah, yes sir. So thank you to everyone. I think we'll just end the stream here for today, and make sure to tune in live to the Free Fire tournament. This was the Free Fire tournament. This is the FIFA tournament. Free Fire is happening on Fridays. Make sure to tune in. FIFA is happening on Saturdays. Make sure to tune in, and then Sundays we got chess. Make sure to participate and tune in into that one too. But I think that's pretty much it. I've been saying that's pretty much it for the for the longest now. So yeah, I think we're gonna wrap it up here. Thank you to everyone again, and have a good Sunday evening.
Bye everyone. See you next week.
Cheers.